Hello, everyone. My name is Dustin with gamblingonfreedom.com. I am a hypnotherapist who specializes in problem gambling and compulsive gambling. I help people overcome the urges to gamble and get their life back, get their money back in order, get their life back in order. And so I'm here. I just wanted to kind of share some information with you, some stuff that's come from clients, some stuff that I've read on different forums, and just questions that people might have about problem gambling, compulsive gambling, and just things that they wanted to know. So, as a sort of expert in this in the space, I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents about it, and hopefully this can help someone. So, when someone says, I want to stop gambling, but I can't, right? Well, what's actually happening beneath the surface is they want to stop gambling, but they can't, meaning that they're trying to use willpower, usually, right? They're trying to use willpower to stop gambling, or maybe they've used other therapeutic techniques like mindfulness or meditation or something. And they're trying to use these different tools, maybe, or not, perhaps just willpower and discipline to try and stop gambling. And the problem with that is willpower doesn't ever seem to be enough to quit. And one big reason is because it's a finite resource. So willpower is strongest uh, when it's early in the morning, right? So early in the morning, you have the strongest amount of willpower you could have, and then over time throughout the day it gets diminished, right? That's actually true. That's an actual thing. So willpower is a finite resource, and it's not going to be really high, especially if you're gambling at 8 o'clock at night, especially after drinks, especially after thinking about it all day, right? So that's one reason why willpower wouldn't be enough to quit, just from a pure logical standpoint of it being a finite resource. So in my experience, though, this struggle people have is far more emotional than logical, right? Logically, you don't want to be spending all of your paycheck on gambling, right? Reasonably, it makes sense that you want to keep the promises you made to yourself, to your spouse. You've analyzed your situation, right? You analyze your situation. You know that if you just stopped spending all the money that you made in your paycheck every month to gambling, then you could probably save up, go on that vacation, take your wife out, all the good stuff, right? You're gonna make a decision to change things, right? You use your willpower to do it, right? But the problem is that your subconscious mind is far more powerful than your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is all logical, reasonable, analyzing decisions, willpower, and your subconscious mind is beliefs and identity and emotions, right? And so what happens is your subconscious mind being sort of 90% or 95% of everything that you are, um, it's just a stronger being within you, if that makes sense. Just a stronger thing. It's a stronger mind. And so what happens is, you know all this stuff logically, but you believe perhaps maybe that you can't quit. Maybe you believe that the next time you go gamble, you're going to make it big, that one jackpot can finish everything for you guys, and you're going to hit it soon. Maybe that's the belief. Maybe you have some identity that says that you're just this problem gambler, that this is who you are. Maybe you have some positive emotional associations towards gambling. Maybe it feels good. Maybe there's a rush. Maybe there's an escape. Maybe there's a relief to it. Maybe you have negative feelings and associations towards gambling, like guilt and shame and disappointment within yourself. So you have your conscious mind going against your subconscious mind. You have a conscious to subconscious conflict. This is where we have this dissonant energy. This is what creates all the emotional turmoil within us. And so the shame and guilt cycle, if you will, is really what keeps problem gambling in place, in my opinion. And I'll show you what that looks like. So essentially, you have an urge to gamble, you have a craving, right? Now, as a hypnotherapist, I work with smoking cessation and things like that. And we talk about cravings. And cravings is basically urges, right? And all a craving really is a positive thought about the thing. Right? That's all it is. You have positive thoughts about gambling. So you have positive thoughts about gambling. You want to do it. You feel like it's the best option. You think that that's what you need to do. And then so you gamble and you get this relief and it feels good. And you have this rush and you have this escape and you feel good about it. And then you spent all of your money. your whole paycheck goes bye-bye. And then you have shame and guilt and pain and hurt and frustration and anxiety and depression and all these other feelings here. And then this just starts to build, right? Just starts to build, create all this emotional tension in the body, emotional turmoil in the body. And then at some point, you need a relief, right? So the dopamine receptors are like, hey, we got to have some reward. We need some relief here. And so the urges start, right? You have these urges again. I need to feel good. I want to feel good. I need to feel good. How do I feel good? Well, I gamble. My mind has already learned that gambling was a perfect solution to all of the shame and guilt and depression and pain and anxiety and fear from whatever areas of my life, right? So this is why it's not just created from gambling. Your whatever For whatever reason, the gambling was just the solution to all the negative emotions that you felt at some point in your life. And because you were gambling, it seemed to take it all away. And so what happens is the brain learned that that was the perfect coping mechanism to all of this struggle. And it wants to move away from pain and towards pleasure. So it says, hey, here's some urges, go gamble. You gamble, all of that pain goes away for a time. And then it sets back in because now you've wasted all your money again. You've gotten worse into your debt. You've broken promises, and all of that stuff builds back up again. And so this loop keeps us stuck. So if you want to break out of the loop, if you want to actually change this part of you so that you no longer gamble, so that you could even gamble if you wanted to, right? Like I help clients do that too, where it's not just, I want to quit gambling forever. Maybe there is some good components to it for you. And maybe you walk in with 50 bucks, $100, and you put it in and you lose it all and you just walk away, right? That's very possible. You could absolutely do that. You could absolutely gamble just like any other regular person who goes into a casino, whether it's on a cruise ship or, in Vegas or whatever, and they go in and they're like, hey, I'm gonna have a limit of $500 and I'm gonna put it in. And if I lose it all, I lose it all. And that's fine. I'm just gonna go because I already know how much I'm gonna lose. I already know how much I'm gonna, bring to the table. And if it's gone, it's gone. That's okay. And some people just want to quit altogether, and that's perfectly cool too, right? So wherever your goals are, whatever you want to do, I can actually help you do that, and I can help you do that much faster than traditional methods. Traditional therapy usually takes between 3 and 9 months to really get some change going. My clients tend to get change going in one, maybe 2 sessions, but typically in the first session they'll have a massive breakthrough and actually get this kind of solved for themselves, where they can see that next paycheck and be like, I'm just going to put this right into my savings or my investments or a home fund or something. Right? And so they start to shift with it in just the first session. And yeah, so if you want to do that, if you actually want to break this cycle, if you want to actually feel better about this stuff and get your life back, really is what we're talking about here, right? Get your life back. So if you want to do that, there's a link below. My website is www.gamblingonfreedom.com. We'll have a 30-minute consultation. It is free. It's a free consultation. It's simply just uh, going over what might actually be the problem, right? Because the gambling, again, is just a symptom or a solution to your problem. It's not the problem. Gambling isn't anything but a coping mechanism, just like drinking or cigarettes or anything else. And so, gambling isn't the problem. It's just the symptom or the solution to the real problem. So, in that 30-minute consultation, we'll go over certain things, find out what the real problem is, and decide if you want to work together, decide if we want to work together, if we're a good fit for each other. And I'd be happy to bring you through this in a very fast manner. So if that sounds good to you, click the link below, sign up for a free consultation, and I hope this was helpful for anyone, even if you are not a problem gambler. So take care for now, guys. Bye.